you must win the war in the morning. So then when you go into life that you cannot control, you've already mentally won.
Progress doesn't feel like progress when you're in it. It feels like surviving. It's only when you stop and look back that you realize how far you've actually come. So just take a second right now. Think about the version of yourself from 2 years ago, the stuff that you were carrying then that you're not carrying now, the things that you got through that you didn't think you would. You did that.
Number one liar that you have to deal with in your life is your fucking self. And I'm not denying your hardships. I'm not denying that you might have disadvantages that other people don't have, but you also have advantages that other people don't have too. And the disadvantages that you have cannot become the excuse for you to let your life waste away and drift away from who you were meant to be.
Toughness is not about how many push-ups you can do or what you can bench press or how far you can run. Toughness is in the mind, and your body can be the most perfect, the most conditioned specimen. But if you don't have a tough mind, if you don't have a toughness of the mind, if you don't have a tough will, you're not tough.
Cut them off. Cut them off. Do you care more about somebody's temporary feelings, or do you care more about your legacy and your future? Because you keep giving your attention and your energy to people who are just draining you and not returning anything. You're giving up all of your legacy, all of your dreams, all of your goals, because you don't want someone to feel momentarily bad.
You don't want to do every morning. You're already giving yourself the proper self-talk. You're already giving yourself the proper dialogue to attack the people that don't like you, to attack your insecurities, to attack what the world's gonna give you.
You're afraid of being judged, but nobody's thinking about it. You know, the opinions you're scared of today will be forgotten next week. The mistakes you're overthinking won't matter in a month. The decisions you delayed because of what will people say, they won't even recall it next year. Time exposes something most people don't realize. Judgment has a very short memory. People are not focused on you as much as you think they are. So don't shrink yourself and compromise on who you are for opinions that expire. Because if you do, then just know that the world will eventually move on. But you will remain a prisoner to invisible critics who stopped watching a long time ago.
Basically, it all begins with how we choose to think. As you think, so shall you be. 7 little words that I think are perhaps the most important things that we can learn and master in our lives. This old proverb notion that I become what I think about all day long. And once you know that what you think about is what expands, you start getting real careful about what you think about. You don't allow your thoughts to be on anything that you don't want, or that you wouldn't want to have manifest or show up for you in your life.
Okay, well, if you have some faults and you feel insecure and inferior because of that, well, you should. Now, it shouldn't be so much that you're crippled by it and unable to take action. You shouldn't be beating yourself into the ground because you're not everything you could be, because no one is. And if you beat yourself into the ground, then you can't get up and improve. But you have to differentiate. It's like, okay, to what degree am I being hard on myself? Counterproductively critical, adopting inappropriate stereotypical representations of masculine competence. How much of my self-criticism is ill-advised? Fair enough. And you want to deal with yourself with a certain amount of care. But then, along with that, there's the, well, fix your weaknesses.
Tell people there's a daily practice. Like if you get up and you just have no discipline whatsoever, you get no value in anything. And diets don't work when you don't do them. Exercise doesn't work when you don't do them. But mostly people have some experiences that they want to shift. And once you shift those things, your whole life changes. But life is constant growth.
Everybody is motivated by 2 different things. One, you have the beautiful things in your life. The flip side of that equation are the things that it's people that doubt you. I find in very acute moments, the darkness serves you better.
How specifically am I going to achieve that goal? Like, what are the strategies and the tactics? Meaning, what are you going to do? How specifically are you going to do it? By when? I'm going to ask myself empowering questions like, how can I overcome this obstacle? What can I do to overcome this obstacle? To manage your mindset and your emotions. What are you going to do to overcome the obstacles that are in your area, whether they're mental obstacles, physical obstacles, financial obstacles, strategical obstacles, tactical obstacles? Well, yeah, if you want to achieve goals, there's a thinking, there is a feeling, and there's a behavior that gets you there.
You can't give away what you don't have. Can't give away love for others if you don't have love in here to give away. If what you have in here is contempt, if what you have in here is anger, if what you have in here is fear, then these are the things you're going to be giving away in your life.
You need a sustaining meaning that's deep and profound, and deep and profound enough to get you through bad times, because there will be very bad times in your life. There'll be death, and there'll be illness, and there'll be disappointment of all sorts. And there'll be just the standard difficulties of life in the world to contend with. And you really must have something that's profound and powerful to set him against that. And I think that your voluntary adoption of the struggle to improve being is the proper antidote to that.
Right now, in most people's experience, it is me versus universe. This is how people are experiencing life. Otherwise, why continuous anxiety, fear? They think they are fighting for their life all the time. Why? They are fighting the whole universe. Individual and the universal. Being in competition with the universe is a stupid thing to do.
The thing that will make me love my life the most is to do the things that are fulfilling. And I think fulfillment has a very specific, universal formula. And that formula is work your ass off to get very good at something that you care deeply about, that allows you to serve not only yourself, but other people. That's it.
The simple thing is this. See, if your joy, your sadness, your happiness, your misery is determined by something or somebody around you, the chances of you being joyful in your life is remote.
The core of what really matters, that we are the same. And you know how I know that? Because all of us are seeking the same thing. And we'll go out into the world and each pursue based upon what you believe your talents are, what your skills are, maybe your gifts are, but you're seeking the same thing. Everybody wants to fulfill the highest, truest expression of yourself.
Deep down inside, I believe most people on the planet are heartbroken. Why? Because they have betrayed the visions, ambitions, values, mission in their heart. They have betrayed their talent.
One of the things that first comes to mind, if we were just to try to say in a few words, what's mindfulness? A very common response might be, well, it's living in the present moment. It's being in the present. So that's a pretty good beginning. You're all very aware of how much of the time we are lost in thoughts of past and lost in thoughts of future. Sometimes very little time is actually spent in the moment, because of this proliferation of thoughts. Because we can be observing experience, and we often are, through many different filters in the mind. We can be observing experience through the filter of desire. We can be observing things through the filter of anger or aversion, or through the filter of delusion, where there's just a cloudiness. We're observing, we're in that mode, but the observation is being conditioned by the particular mind state.
What have I found that you do about terrible things? Generally, you don't run from them, especially if they're not avoidable in the future. Generally, you stand, confront, decompose, understand, adapt. But just because you generally do that and it's the best bet doesn't mean it's definitely going to work. It's just the best shot you have at it. It'd be lovely if something always worked, but if something always worked, people would never get sick and die. Right, and we do all the time. So we do our best, but that doesn't mean that always works, but it's still the best that can be done. It's still the alternatives.
So it's very important for us to have reasons to be excited about life. Like when you wake up in the morning, it can't just be about problems.
Everything that's life must happen to you. Have you come here to avoid life, or have you come here to experience life? Experience life, all the different dimensions of what this life holds.
What is your compassion for the world? Like, what problem do you want to solve? People will say, there's so many things I could do, there's so many things. I'm like, my question is not what causes you the greatest joy. Since my question is, what causes you the greatest pain? Someone out there who's not living to their potential, and I think we're better people, we're better partners, and we're better parents when we live to our potential.
All of us have kind of an identity for ourselves, a way of defining ourselves. And human beings don't usually stray from that. And it's all consistent with the fact that human beings, our strongest drive is the need to stay consistent with how we define ourselves. Now that's just a story. And if you tell yourself a story long enough, you start to believe it. And once you believe it, you act like it.
He said, in every situation, between the situation and your response, there's a space. It might only be a millisecond, but in that space, you have the ability to choose how you're going to react or respond. When you react, whatever you're reacting to is in control of you, whether it's another person, a condition, or a circumstance. When you respond to the same thing, you stay in control.
When perfectionism hinders your ability to have joy, to pursue something because of your fear of failure, or you're never good enough, or you can't relish your accomplishment, it becomes maladaptive.
A battlefield that goes on in your mind all the time. And there's bombs that are exploding all the time. Fear, anxiety, I'm not good enough. And a lot of times you're making those bombs explode, or somebody else is making those bombs explode, right? You have to take control of that space.
To transform your life, you want to do it in 2 minutes. So is that what your life is worth? So if your life is worthwhile, is it not important that you invest a certain amount of time and energy rather than looking for this stupid stuff of one mantra with which I will transform my life? It will not happen like that. That's the reason why most people have remained the way they have remained, because they've not invested in their well-being.
The space between our ears, we don't have control over it. A lot of other people have set shop in it. They're like, they've like taken the most expensive real estate in the world. You gotta make sure you control that battlefield that's going on in there. It's your space, it's your mind. You're going to have negative thoughts. You are. Just changing your thought is not going to change your action. It may change your perspective, but you still have to continue to push forward.
Now, I don't think that we're born blank slates, but we are so close to that. To worry about where your limits are is to miss how much you can improve. So focus on how much you can improve. There's an amazing quote by Alexander Solzhenitsyn, and what he said was, "The line between good and evil runs through every human heart." To me, it's not about good and evil. To me, it's about malleability. That's a statement of how shapeable we are. Now, here's the terrifying thing about how we get shaped. It happens when you're young. You get all these things that come to you that seem to be simply true. I believed that the human mind couldn't change. I believed that it was fixed. I believed that my talent and intelligence were just what they were. And one of my favorite quotes of all time is from Albert Einstein. And he said, the most important decision any human being has to make is whether they live in a friendly or a hostile universe. Decision. The most important decision anyone has to make. Because neither of those two states is empirically true, but either will immediately appear true once you decide to believe it. So once you decide to believe, yo, the world is working for me, this is happening for me, it's not happening to me. Once you believe that, you start looking for the ways in which that was powerful. How is the worst thing that ever happened to me actually secretly the best thing that's ever happened to me? You could be one of any countless identities that we see in the world. But we don't, because each of these places carries with it a value system, a belief system, things that are unique to that group that you grow up in, what your parents tell you about your family, about you, what it means to be you, what you learn in schools, what you see in the media, all of that stuff is shaping how you view yourself and how you view the world. But it's happening insidiously because it is so invisible. People don't realize that they are choices. Now, once you reframe all of this as these are things that I'm choosing to believe, and once you realize you can choose to believe something new and thusly get a different result, everything changes.
If they can do it, I can do it. And that's the mentality. If somebody else can do it, you can do it. And I said to myself, I will do it and I will do it better. That's the mentality. And I believe with the mentality is 50% of the success in what you're doing.
Winning is a decision. Winning is going to cost you everything, but it's going to reward you with so much more. It is.
This is it. This is the day that you put it all on the line, because everything that you dream of counts on what you do today. No more half in, half out. It is going to take every ounce of you to get to where you want to go. But it is up to you at the end of the day. Will you continue to live a mediocre life, or will you finally put it all out there?
It's not always about winning the day. Sometimes it's about surviving the moment. If today feels heavy, focus on doing one small thing. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just need to make it through the next hour. One choice, one step, one moment. And when you do, give yourself credit. Because some days, that's a victory in itself.
You have to be able to use what's given to you, and we are unfortunately given way more negative than we are positive. So how are you going to use it? Are you going to use it by letting it, get shy and sitting in the basement, say, man, I'm not really ready to play this game? Or are you going to use it like, hey, f you, I deserve this. I'm going to show you, I'm going to prove you wrong. And then in 5, 10 years, you're going to walk in the room and all those people that doubted you, all those people that said negative shit to you, all those people that made jokes to you, all those people that rolled their eyes at you, they're all going to tell you how proud they are. I always believed in you. I remember, and you'll remember too, Every single person that ever said negative things to me, I remember all of them. By the time they come back around and say they're proud of you, you don't even need the validation anymore because you already know. And that's the most powerful thing that you can have, your own belief in yourself, proving yourself right, proving that you do have what it takes, and nobody can take that from you once you've built that.
Your growth will frighten people who have no plan on changing.
Don't ask anyone what they think you should do. Make a decision you're going to do this. You're going to make a decision right now, today, that you are never going to lower your standard of living. You have the potential that God gave you. You've got all the potential in the world. Anything anybody else does, you're quite capable of doing. But you've got to make a decision to do it. And you make a decision, the way will always show itself.
Any skill must be nourished over and over again. And this is why skill attained by investing a lot of effort. And the only way in order to express this is by repetitive structure, repetitive movements.
Some people start off with life served to them on a silver platter, and I bet you think that's better. The thing is though, money can't buy purpose, and I guarantee that when you start off with the epitome of what people deem successful, and you did absolutely nothing to get there, the emptiness is haunting. Everyone is the victim of something, but it's only those that find meaning in their struggles that eventually become their own hero. When you take resistance away from a person, they're left with no reason to push. So your situation, though it's heavy by nature, is exactly what you need to keep going.
Remember this, is that people are time wasters, and the great majority of people have no goals, they have no priorities, they have no plans, they have no concern about becoming successful, and they think that you are the same. They think because their time isn't worth anything, that your time isn't worth anything also.
Always directly approach what you want is the wrong way. Why? Because it is one-sided. You want freedom? Face the structure, face the hard discipline. Because if inside this hard structured form, you are able to have the freedom, you feel free inside this hard form, that is the freedom.
The axle around which the wheel of life turns is goals.
This is why a goal is so important, because we will become that.
We become what we think about. Now, it may be fantasy at first, it might even appear to us as being a lie. But if you read it often enough, you'll start to believe it.
Every day is a good day if you make that the case. And I don't mean having some fake positive attitude towards the day, I mean actually making it a good day through what you control. You see, people think that having a rock-solid routine fixes everything, and it might fix some of your problems, but it doesn't build immunity to external problems. The goal is to build the highest minimum possible in terms of what you carry out on a daily basis. You see, in my case, my worst day possible, where things go horribly wrong and I achieve nothing, this is what I like to call the best worst case scenario. Life becomes very problematic when you leave everything in the hands of happenstance, because when things inevitably go wrong, you'd be left with the feeling that there's nothing you can do to progress life towards being better. Take advantage of what you control and you will no longer be left with that feeling. You can exercise, you can eat healthy, you can think intentionally, and you can make these things the baseline accomplishments of every single day.
Your new life is going to cost you your old one. It's going to cost you your comfort zone and your sense of direction. It's going to cost you relationships and friends. It's going to cost you being liked and understood, but it does not matter, because the people who are meant for you are going to meet you on the other side. You're going to build a new comfort zone around the things that actually move you forward. Instead of being liked, you're going to be loved. Instead of being understood, you're going to be seen. All you're going to lose is what was built for a person you no longer are. Let it go.
The strength in loneliness and heartbreak. Loneliness and heartbreak. Two things that everyone fears, but no one escapes. These are the moments when life feels like it's been stripped bare. When the world seems a little colder, and the weight of it presses down on you in ways you didn't think possible. But here's the truth. It's these very moments, these periods of isolation and pain, that have the power to change you in ways nothing else can. They break you open, they strip away the illusions, and they force you to confront yourself. And it's in that confrontation that you start to become something more. When you're in the middle of it, when you're feeling the sting of being alone, or the ache of a heart that's been broken, it's easy to think that this is all life is, that this is how it will be from now on. But loneliness, just like heartbreak, is temporary. It's not a life sentence. It's a season. And like any season, it's there to teach you something. It's there to give you perspective. When we're surrounded by people, by noise, by distractions, it's easy to lose sight of who we are. It's easy to drown in the external and forget about what's happening internally. But when you're alone, when there's no one there to distract you from yourself, you're forced to confront your own thoughts, your own feelings, and sometimes your own pain. And while that might sound terrifying, it's also where real growth happens. Loneliness shows you who you are without the noise, without the validation of others, without the constant need for approval. It strips away the need to perform, the need to be something for someone else, and forces you to be you. And maybe for the first time in a long time, you get to hear your own voice clearly. And heartbreak teaches you something different. It shows you that love, for all its beauty and all its power, is fragile. It can break, and when it does, it leaves you questioning everything. Your worth, your future, your past. But it also teaches you something profound. It teaches you about resilience. It shows you that even when your heart feels shattered, even when it seems like the pieces will never fit together again, you can still survive. You can still heal. And when you do, you become something more. The broken parts of us. The parts that have felt pain, that have experienced loss, that have known loneliness, they don't weaken us. They make us stronger. They make us better because they give us depth. They give us perspective. They teach us to appreciate the moments of connection when they come, to value the people who truly see us, and to understand that life, in all its messiness, is still worth fighting for. You see, the beauty of loneliness and heartbreak is that they teach you how to stand on your own. They teach you that you don't need anyone else to define your worth, that you don't need constant affirmation to know who you are. And when you come out the other side of that, you're stronger, not because you've been hardened by the pain, but because you've learned to embrace it. You've learned to take those broken pieces and rebuild yourself stronger than before. There's a Japanese art form called kintsugi, where broken pottery is repaired with gold. The cracks and breaks are highlighted, not hidden. And the piece, once repaired, becomes more beautiful because of those breaks, not in spite of them. That's what heartbreak and loneliness do for us. They crack us open. They expose the parts of us we might have tried to hide. But once we heal, we're not weaker for having been broken. We're more complete. more real, more ourselves. Loneliness teaches you self-reliance. It teaches you how to be with yourself. And that's something most people never learn. They run from themselves, from their own thoughts, from their own solitude. But when you face it, when you sit in it, when you learn to embrace it, you discover that you are enough. Just you, without the need for external validation, without the need for anyone else to tell you that you're worthy. And heartbreak, it teaches you that nothing is permanent, not even the pain. It shows you that love is not about never being hurt, but about learning to love even after you've been hurt. It's about resilience. It's about vulnerability. It's about learning that you can survive the storm and come out the other side stronger, with a deeper understanding of what it means to care for someone and to care for yourself. We often think that the goal in life is to avoid pain, to avoid loneliness, to avoid heartbreak. But what if those things are the very things that make us who we are? What if the broken parts of us, the parts that have been shaped by isolation and loss, are the parts that give us our strength? Because here's the thing. Everyone wants to be strong, but no one wants to go through the fire. Everyone wants to be wise, but no one wants to be broken. But wisdom doesn't come from a life without scars. Strength doesn't.
This is from deep down within my soul. A true bred born fighting man who never quits, never says die. And if I was ever gonna jack it, it wouldn't have been in the boxing ring, it'd have been when I was suffering with mental health. I was on the verge of suicide. That's when I'd quit. But I didn't quit on myself, and I didn't quit on the world. That's why I'm back here to tell the story. Maybe I was finished in my body, but my mindset was that strong and I believed that I was gonna win. If you believe it first with the mind, anything's achievable. And I believed it so much, and I never ever doubt myself in a fight, no matter who it is with who. I always believe I'm gonna win, somehow, some way. I'll find a way. If for those people, all the oppressed, depressed, alcoholics, drug addicts, I fight for all those people. It's to give them hope every day so they can wake up in the morning and know there's somebody out there banging for us. He is our man.
Don't you see me twice?
I just showed the world tonight, everyone suffering with mental health, that it can come back and it can be done. Everybody out there who has the same problems I've been suffering with, did that for you guys. And if I can come back from where I come from, then you can do it too.
Like, is he going here? Is he going there? Is he moving? Is he jabbing? He'll come at you like this with 2, 3 fake jabs. They'll move out of the way. He'll pop you with a jab as he's moving away. He's like a very technical, like really sophisticated boxer.
A great man, a great man once said, "For he who is not courageous enough to take risks will accomplish nothing."
This fight is going to be all over. Tyson Fury is proving himself here, the best heavyweight in the world.
Time and time again, I can never be wrote off. I can never be beat till I'm down and out. Greatness never becomes easy. You never get anything good easy. Anything that's good in life is always very hard to get, or everybody that way. You're going to be willing to take risks. And I've risked everything my whole career to get to this point. What is success? You know, the world has different things of what success is to what really success is, I think. Success is, to me, is waking up in a good mood, having a good day, surrounded by people who you want to be surrounded by. That sort of success. Success to me isn't measured on how much money you've got or what business ventures you're into.
Success for me is being happy in your home and with your wife and your kids or your partner, or whoever you've got, being happy with those people. That's success to me.
Before I used to take everything and think, oh, I want this, I want that. I was never happy with what I got. It's human nature, we always want more. No matter what it is, no matter how much you got of something, then you're always searching for more things. And now it's like, I don't care if I lose everything. I don't care what happens. Nothing really is ours anyway in life. The only thing we truly own in this life is moments in time. And this is a moment in time for me that will never be erased. And no matter what happens, this is always going to be my time. This will be my moment in time because I lived here and I was a part of this. You know, everything else, this bag, this watch, these clothes, they'll all go. What does it really matter? Body will go. This is a shell, but what's inside, hope to God, lives on forever. I just do more than I've ever done. I sacrifice more today than I did when I was absolutely starting off with nothing, from the bottom. And I don't know even how that's possible. I'm tight to today. Now I've made it than I ever was coming on. I'm more stricter, more dedicated. Train more, smarter, train smarter. Before it was like, it's this dream job to be heavyweight champion of the world, all that comes with it. But when you get there to the top, you find out that the real only thing that matters is your training, is your boxing, is your fights, and all the other that comes along with it. The fame, the glory, the credit, the articles, the money, whatever you can buy with the money. It's all short-lived crap. Because at the end of the day, you're only as good as your last tenner. And that's all she wrote. Life is precious and it's beautiful just to wake up in the morning. Before I used to take it all for granted. I didn't care. I didn't care about nothing. I didn't care about family, friends, relatives, achievements. I didn't care about all. But now, after going to hell and back, I appreciate fresh air and a glass of water. You never know what you've really got until it's gone. But I've had the opportunity to be shot down and come back. I think life's too short for regrets. We live, we learn, we get on with our lives. I never regret like, oh, wish I didn't eat that, or wish I didn't say that. I think it's all unimportant stuff. What we did yesterday is history. It's not really important. It's about living for today. Not even for tomorrow. Living for today and being thankful for what we have now. Not for what we want, or might think we want. I used to worry about a lot of stuff in my life. Worry about what people think, worry about making people happy, worrying about X, Y, and Z. Now I don't. Worry about being happy now and being happy today and tomorrow. So that's how we're not promised tomorrow. So I live today because I know that I am not guaranteed to wake up in the morning. So I'm just going to be happy for now. And that's how I live. One day at a time. If I go to bed sad tonight, I think to myself, you know what? Tomorrow's going to be a brand new day. I'm going to wake up happy.
So what you waiting on? What? Do you dream, Elliot? You scraping so hard like you ain't never asked yourself this before. I said, do you want to be here right now?
Along the way, you're going to need to do things you don't want to do or might not think you can do. It's okay to be scared.
That you are now at war within your own mind and body. You are going through a metamorphosis, my nephew. It will not be a pleasant experience. But when you come out of it, you will be the beautiful prince you were always meant to be.
You're going to see this video right before you enter a winning stage in your life. I don't know why, but I just have a feeling that you've been in a rut. You've been off. Things have been feeling maybe out of alignment for you for some time. But that's going to change very, very soon. You know, I'm a firm believer that everything happens for a reason. And I believe that you have a purpose that you are destined to fulfill in this world. But in order to get there, in order to fulfill that purpose, you must go through a process. You must travel along this long and beautifully treacherous journey. With that comes a lot of hardship, a lot of adversity, a lot of discomfort, whether we like it or not. It's just part of the process. But I want you to know that although things may not have been going your way recently, you've been in this rut, you've been hitting dead end after dead end, repeat failure after repeat failure. The reason that you are going through this is because you are destined for something great.
You know, extraordinary things only happen to extraordinary people. Maybe it's a sign that you've got an extraordinary destiny. Something greater than you could have imagined.
Please stop making it so easy to be extraordinary. This world is so lost that all you have to do is be an honest person and keep some promises, and people think you're a superhero. I mean, if you open your eyes, the lessons are right in front of you. Listen to what makes old people regretful and ask yourself why you're doing the same exact things. Copy the people you look up to, and it freaking works. My God, all people ever want is some free pass. While the blueprint of other people's successes and failures is the closest thing you're ever gonna get.
And if one is passionate and committed in the noble pursuit of excellence within their chosen field, be that the arts, technology, science, humanitarianism, conservationism, then I would say one has a moral obligation and an ethical duty to be of service and to always strive to be part of the solution, not the problem. After all, it's a world that our children would inherit. That's worth being a part of. That speaks to me. Passion, action, noble intention creates progress.
Do you think that everyone has purpose?
The way I look at it is, you, Theo, were born with a DNA that will never be replicated in the past or in the future. It's a unique marker of you, right? So genetically, there is something different about you. Weird, odd, great, whatever you want to put it, okay? And it's like something that's planted at your birth. It's what makes you different from everybody else. That's like a seed at your birth. If you cultivate that seed, if you cultivate your uniqueness, it gives you a purpose in life. It's why you are unique. It's what makes you you. It's your energy, it's your character, it's your awareness, it's your sense of humor. It's what draws you to certain things, what you hate about certain things. It's you. If you listen to that, it's like a voice inside of your head. Listen to that voice clearly. It directs you, it gives you a purpose.
What is your why? Why did you even get out of the bed this morning? Why did you eat what you ate? Why did you wear what you wore? We are here to connect. Life is about people. Love, time, death. Now, these three abstractions connect every single human being on earth. Everything that we covet, everything that we fear not having, everything that we ultimately end up buying is because at the end of the day, we long for love, we wish we had more time, and we fear death. Love, time, death.
Natural to doubt yourself, but if you can push through that and do what needs to be done, you'll do just fine.
Reminder that if you want to be exceptional,
You're going to be different from everyone else. That's what makes you exceptional. You can't fit in and also be exceptional. Both have discomfort. When you fit in, you have internal conflict because you're not being 100% you. When you're exceptional, you have external conflict because everyone sees you as different. Pick one. When your friends start to say, "You've changed," remember it's because they don't know how to say, "You've grown."
If you were anything like me, you have to feel the pressure. You have to be challenged. You have to be put into uncomfortable scenarios because it wakes something up within you, something that craves life. That part of you that lies deep down will live again. It will live again. And it is when you are reconnected with this part of you that you realize that you can really do anything. No matter how hard it gets or whatever challenge you face, there's nothing that could ever stop you. As long as you are connected with this energy and you remain focused in your pursuit of legacy and fulfillment, there's nothing you cannot do. It doesn't get any simpler than that.
Most people fear death because they wasted their life. Too busy chasing approval, ignoring instincts, and ran out of time to be who they were. They live for everyone else. Their parents, friends, spouses, bosses, even a stranger on a screen. But they never live for themselves. Now with their back against the wall, they realize the truth. The world never cared, and they let themselves rot for nothing. Now you can make excuses, say it was a sacrifice, but the mirror doesn't lie. So if you look in that mirror and see your reflection and ask yourself, was it worth it? And if the answer is no, then what the hell are you waiting for? Be you and live like time owes you nothing, because it doesn't. Do something that makes you happy.
Life is an opportunity, benefit from it. Life is a dream, realize it. Life is a challenge, meet it. Life is a duty, complete it. Life is a game, play it. Life is a struggle, accept it. The second one reads, the ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, where he stands at times of challenge and controversy.
I'm gonna say something to you. You're smart, you're talented, you know a few things, but talent means nothing in this game if you don't make the right choices. There's plenty of talented people out there who never see the light of day anymore. Last thing takes discipline, because this whole game is one big long shot, and if you don't have the discipline to stay away from the flyers or from the gambles or whatever else you want to call a stupid move, then my friend, I'm afraid to say one day you will go down. It's inevitable. You want my advice? Make a list of everything you want now, and then plan on spending the next 25 years of your life getting it, slowly, piece by piece.
Those who fight with dragons for too long become dragons themselves. And those that gaze into the abyss gazes right back. All of us have a dragon's lair, a haunting, a shadow, that thing within us, or that place where we don't want to touch, and we don't want to look, and we don't want to go on that journey of figuring out, because there's a dragon in there, right? That's what everyone's telling us. And so what this quote is trying to tell us is, hey, I know you've heard all of these myths and tales, but what if you went and figured it out yourself? What if instead of gazing and being so scared that you're gonna get eaten by something or whatever, you walk into the dark and go see it for yourself? Very scary thing.
not many people would do that because Mr. Fear has lied.
But the real answer to your question is that when it feels scary to jump, Ian, that is exactly when you jump. Otherwise, you end up staying in the same place your whole life. And that I can't do.
You have to be singular, inflexible, unyielding in your own work so that even the struggle, that very struggle to achieve, becomes its own reward. A hard, simple ability to continue is a kind of blessing. You can't do your work according to other people's values. I'm not talking about also following your dream either. I never liked the inspirational value of that phrase. Besides being sentimental, it's beside the point. Dreaming is a way of trivializing the process, the obsession that carries you through the failure as well as the successes, which could be harder to get through. I mean, if you're dreaming, you're sleeping, and it's important. An imperative to always be awake to your feelings, your possibilities, your ambitions, and don't get hung up on the consequences because they can be good, like awards, success, and even celebrity, and they can be bad, like no awards, no success, and no celebrity.
Things will happen to things that you cannot control. A raw emotion will find you when it does. How you deal with it, what you do, will define who you are.
Did that happen to you?
Oh, it happens to all of us, whether we want it to or not.
Every scars we have make us who we are. We're not meant to go back and fix them. And there's nothing broken with you that needs to be fixed. Take it from an old guy who's made a lot of mistakes. Do and live your past. Live your life. Don't let your tragedy define you.
What if it's supposed to define me? Your tragedy made you a hero.
That also made me alone.
I'm not defined by my past. My past has taught me who I am. To be able to evaluate the situation present and apply what I've learned to make the best choice. And that choice is based on character. It's based on morality, integrity. Never about financial return. Never about monetary value or tangible items. It's always been about the character, the intangible item.
Sometimes we need help to get there. Yes. You've come a very long way. In a very short time. Well, it doesn't feel that way. But you should know that I have always taken the path that is most right. Most right. The result is never in question for me. Just what path do you take to get there? And there is always one that is most right. And that is what this is.
You have to be willing to sacrifice some comfort to step into what is for you. It may mean sacrificing old habits and old ways, right? This season that you're in or you're trying to step into may need you to sacrifice old habits, old ways of thinking, right? Old spaces you used to navigate. Are you willing to do that for your growth, right?
There's a weight to being alone that few people talk about. Solitude can feel like a void, like silence pressing in from all sides, magnifying every thought, every doubt, every piece of yourself you've been trying to outrun. It can feel like the world has forgotten you, like no one sees you, like you've been left behind while everyone else moves forward. But here's the thing about solitude. It's not a punishment. It's a crucible. Most people fear being alone, They fill their lives with distractions, with noise, with people who barely see them, because the thought of sitting with themselves is unbearable. But solitude forces you to face yourself. It strips away the masks, the performances, the external validation. It takes everything you thought you needed, the attention, the applause, the company, and asks, who are you without it? Who are you when it's just you? And that's where the strength is. That's where the growth is. Because when you're alone, there's no one to impress, no one to hide behind, no one to tell you who you're supposed to be. It's just you, raw, unfiltered, and real. And in that space, in that silence, you find the truth about yourself. The truth is, solitude doesn't weaken you, it sharpens you. It's in the quiet moments, the ones where you feel like no one is watching, that you discover who you really are. You learn what you value, what you stand for, what you're capable of. And yes, it's uncomfortable. Yes, it's hard. But strength isn't built in comfort. It's built in the moments when you're forced to carry your own weight, when there's no one to lean on, no one to rely on but yourself. Think about a tree standing alone in an open field. It doesn't have the shelter of a forest to protect it. It's exposed to every storm, every gust of wind, every blazing sun. And yet because of that, its roots grow deeper, its trunk grows stronger, its resilience is unmatched. That's what solitude does to you. It makes you unshakable. But here's the thing about solitude. It's not just about enduring it. It's about using it. It's about turning it into a forge where you can shape yourself into something stronger, something wiser, something whole. Because when you're alone, you're free. Free from the noise of the world, free from the expectations of others, free to ask yourself, what do I want? Who do I want to be? And the answers to those questions, they're not easy. They don't come all at once. But in solitude, you have the time and the space to find them, to explore the parts of yourself you've been too busy to face, to confront the fears, the insecurities, the wounds that you've been carrying. And through that confrontation, through that process of sitting with yourself, you begin to heal. You begin to grow. Solitude isn't just about being alone. It's about becoming whole. It's about learning that your worth doesn't come from the people around you, the validation they give you, or the way they make you feel. Your worth comes from within. It comes from knowing who you are, from standing on your own 2 feet, from realizing that you're enough, just as you are. But let's be real. It's not easy. There will be days when the silence feels deafening. Days when you crave connection so desperately that you'd give anything to fill the emptiness. And in those moments, it's tempting to reach for anything, any distraction, any temporary comfort, to make the loneliness go away. But don't. Don't fill the silence just for the sake of avoiding it. Sit with it. Let it teach you. Let it strengthen you. Because solitude is a teacher, and its lessons are powerful. It teaches you resilience, how to keep moving, even when no one is cheering you on. It teaches you clarity, how to separate what matters from what doesn't, how to hear your own voice in a world full of noise. And most of all, it teaches you self-reliance, the kind of strength that doesn't depend on anyone else, the kind of strength that no one can take away from you. When you embrace solitude, you discover something incredible. You don't need anyone else to complete you. You don't need external validation to feel whole. You don't need the approval of others to know your worth. And that realization, that's freedom. That's power. And here's the irony. When you've embraced solitude, when you've found strength in it, you're no longer afraid of being alone. You don't cling to people out of fear. You don't settle for less than you deserve, just to avoid the silence. Instead, You choose the people in your life with intention. You surround yourself with those who add to your peace, not those who disrupt it. And that's when connection becomes meaningful. Not something you need to survive, but something that enhances an already full and complete life.
Because I wouldn't assemble the story that my past equals my future. The past only equals your future if you live there. If you're using a rearview mirror to guide yourself, you're gonna crash. So what you've been through is horrific. What you've been through is unjust. I'm on your side. But if you hang on to it, you have no future, and you have no one to blame but yourself. Free yourself from the chains of your past.
In other words, the minute you begin to get external in your life, worrying about what other people think about you, right? You've lost all control. And it never fills you up. And people's admiration, people's gratitude towards you will never fill you up. It's your own. It's your own inside.
You have a lot of potential as a child, but none of that is capable of manifesting itself as freedom before you become disciplined. And discipline is a matter of the imposition of order, and the order is necessary, especially for people who are hopeless and nihilistic. And lots of people are hopeless and nihilistic, way more people than you think. And part of that is because no one's ever really encouraged them.
Your life, you're probably never going to exceed your identity. Your identity is the thoughts and concepts that you believe to hold really to be true about yourself.
It is so easy to get lost in the day-to-day grind of what you do, what any of us do. If at the core driving you is a deep and unending why for what you're doing, you've got something. Now you've got a chance to transcend what you're doing.
Because if you want joy, happiness, and freedom, and an extraordinary life, it will not come from blame. Never. There's no pride that comes from blame. That's why you know your self-esteem. Self-esteem does not come from what people say about you. Self-esteem comes from what you experience about yourself.
It's a complete dynamic dance between what the Vedic tradition would call fate and free will. So fate is what is already created for you, and a good example would be the place you were born, the type of family you grew up in, the socioeconomic background you had. It was already there when you walked into the world. But within that, you had choices where your free will came in. You had the choice to either do what everyone in your neighborhood did or to do something different. You had the choice to have a relationship with a particular person or not. So what happens is that we're constantly creating new spaces from which we have another choice. And so you kind of see as this dynamic dance between, okay, now I'm in this situation, and now what is my choice in this situation? So I would say, I'm not saying it's equal, I'm saying it's a dynamic balance and a switching process where you're constantly creating a new level, and then now in that level you have a next choice.
First, you're in service to something higher. And you begin to ask yourself, because you've been given everything, you're a composite spiritual idea that carries the infinite in ways beyond your wildest imagining. You have to live in the inquiry of what can I give? What can I share? How can I shine? How can I radiate? You have to give up the thought of what can I get from the world. The world has nothing for you at all. There is nothing the world has for you other than an opportunity for you to give, for you to share, for you to serve, for you to radiate, for you to activate your potential.
But if you just do your vision every single day, putting one foot in front of the other, committed to your desires,
instead of lack, limitation, fear, doubt, worry, separation, not enoughness, your narrative becomes, I have everything that I need within me. I am surrendered to something larger than my little self. I am in service to it. That flows through me.
Where fear is physical, You feel your throat or your gut. So it's courage. Courage doesn't mean you're not afraid. It just means you're strong enough you push through in spite of the fear, right? And courage feels different in the body. So when you go lift or you go for a sprint or a strong run or you jump in that freezing water, when you push your mind to go beyond what's comfortable, you feel a strength inside you, and that strength will help you to change your body, your emotions, your relationships. And there's lots of different purposes as you go through your life. But most people are trying to get that. They haven't even figured out how they're going to do that. They haven't even figured out how to enjoy their life. Your purpose will unfold if you do the right things.
It's a hard one for people because we grow up believing that we're not good enough and nothing is right. When you talk about loving yourself, a lot of people think that that's vanity. And if you can recognize that you are a being that has self-worth, if you can really recognize your own worth, then you start to treat yourself differently. And I think that's what's so very important about loving yourself, is you stop beating yourself up, you stop making yourself wrong, you stop talking about how awful you are, and you start to treat yourself with a certain amount of respect. And this makes an enormous difference because what you give out in life is what comes back to you. So if you're giving out a feeling of, I'm okay, I'm good enough as I am, and I am acceptable, and I love life, and I love me, and you start having gratitude for yourself and for life, then life treats you differently.
Let your silence be loud. There's a certain kind of power that comes from doing what no one expects of you. The kind of power that doesn't need announcements or declarations. It doesn't need validation from anyone. It simply exists, building quietly in the background while the world watches and waits for you to fail. You know what I'm talking about. You've felt it. People watching, doubting. Their words, sometimes subtle, sometimes outright, telling you that you're not going to make it. They'll smile to your face and talk behind your back. They'll underestimate you, ignore you, maybe even pity you. And in those moments, you have a choice. You can feed into the noise, you can react, you can shout back, or you can choose to let your silence be your weapon. Because the truth is, the loudest victories are the ones nobody saw coming. The thing about success, real success, is that it doesn't come from the need to prove something to anyone. It comes from the discipline of shutting out the distractions, of working quietly, of letting the results speak for themselves. It comes from knowing that the journey you're on isn't about applause or approval. It's about something deeper, something quieter, a hunger that no one else sees but you. You don't need to explain yourself to anyone. You don't owe the world a justification for your goals, your dreams, or the path you're on, because they won't understand it anyway, not until they see it. And that's the beauty of this game. While they're busy talking, doubting, and watching for signs of weakness, you're moving in silence, getting stronger, getting smarter, getting better. And by the time they realize what's happening, it's already too late. The work is done. The success is in motion. Understand this. People are quick to doubt what they don't see. They'll doubt your potential because they don't see your struggle. They don't see the sleepless nights. They don't see the hours you've poured into mastering your craft. They don't see the sacrifices you've made, the times you've stayed silent and you could have spoken out. They only see the surface, and that's where they'll misjudge you every time. But that's exactly where your strength lies, in the fact that they can't see it coming. The quiet work, the behind-the-scenes grind, is what separates those who talk from those who execute. And the ones who are truly great at what they do, they don't need to shout. They don't need to explain themselves to the world every step of the way. They know that when the time is right, the work will speak louder than any words ever could. Let me tell you something. The most satisfying victories are the ones where people don't even realize what you're capable of until it's already done. The moment when those who underestimated you are left with nothing but their own silence. It's not about showing off. It's about outlasting the noise, outworking the doubters, and understanding that the best form of payback isn't an argument. It's undeniable success. Think of it like this. The loudest ones in the room are often the most insecure. The people constantly telling you what they're going to do, how great they are. They're often trying to convince themselves. But when you're truly focused, when you're truly locked in, you don't need the noise. You don't need the validation. You don't need to announce every move you make, because the work you're doing in silence is going to be felt in ways no words could ever capture. Success is the quietest revenge. So don't waste your time arguing with those who doubt you. Don't waste your energy trying to prove something before it's done. Let them talk. Let them assume you're not going to make it. Let them think they figured you out. Because every second they spend doubting is a second you're spending, building, growing, perfecting your craft. And when the time comes, they'll realize the gap. They'll see that while they were making noise, you were making moves. And by the time they understand what's happened, you'll be too far ahead for their opinions to even matter. Let your success be the thing that shocks them. Let your results be the punchline to every joke they've made about you. And the best part, you won't need to say a word. You won't need to justify the long nights, the sacrifices, the grind they never saw. The results will speak for themselves. Because here's the truth. When you're truly focused on your goal, you don't have time to be loud. You're too busy working. And that's what they'll never understand. That the real work is quiet. It's unglamorous. It's repetitive. But it's in that quiet that you find power. It's in that silence that you become unstoppable. So keep moving, keep grinding, stay quiet, stay humble, and let the results do the talking. Let your success shock them into silence.
You can't see the proper light if you have never indulged in the very, very deepest dark times.
I heard you say there's only one thing I dread, not to be worthy of my sufferings. What's that?
There's a few meanings behind that. I think it's how you handle your sufferings. You know, when you're going through something really challenging, how do you show up within it? Do you choose to become a victim of complaining and misery and shitty, or do you find meaning in how you show up in the suffering? You are suffering, but you're choosing to find meaning in how you handle the suffering, and that makes you so worthy of the suffering. And it's such a beautiful thing to experience. And you know, when life throws some shit at us, you're going to go through this pain, you're going to go through the suffering. How are you going to choose to show up? Like I was talking about before, there are things out of your control. What's in your control? How can you take that power back into your own hands? And what are you going to take from it? What kind of meaning can you find from taking power out of what you feel powerless in?
You're torturing yourself. You are literally torturing yourself because you made mistakes in the past. You are not there anymore. You cannot keep playing this game of making things right by doing what feels wrong. I know you did it before and it led you astray, but let's be really honest, you knew that that wasn't the way. And so please stop hurting yourself and the people around you. This is not it. This is not even you. You are so much wiser and smarter, and so please stop torturing yourself into making the right decisions. What's right doesn't come from pain.
There's a part of me sometimes don't want to be hopeful. You won't see me down there by the hope pond, putting hope meat on my hope hook and just hoping I catch something. So I don't want to be hopeful sometimes. It's hard if you feel like life has burnt you a little. If you feel like the past wasn't what it was supposed to be for you, you don't want to be hopeful anymore. I didn't want to be hopeful because it's hard. If I admit to the world that I'm willing to have hope, then that means I'm not willing to hold a grudge. It's hard to let go of those things that are, because they give me power. But man, if I want to let go of that and reach for that hope, that things could be different.
If you ask for a lot, then it's only fair that you expect to go through a lot. You can't ask for hard things and then expect an easy life. So yes, some days it will be hard. Some days you will be tired. And yes, some days you will question and doubt yourself. But just always remember, you had a vision. And this is what it takes in order to turn it into a reality. So you gotta make that decision for yourself, whether you down for that ride or not.
You feel like you're missing out on all the fun. Me too. Everyone else has more friends. Everyone else does the fun stuff on the weekends. Everyone else gets all the attention. We're missing out on a lot, and it doesn't end there. We're missing out on the endless search for acceptance from an empty source. We're missing out on the constant need to mask the reality of who we are. We're missing out on the acting like everything is okay and shutting down when the crowd is gone. So yeah, we're missing out, but I think that's just fine for now.
Procrastination is a thief. It steals your dreams, your time, your potential. Each time that you say, I'll do it tomorrow, you let another piece of your future slip away. And it feels harmless in the moment, just a small delay, a temporary pause. But those moments add up, turning days into years and dreams into regrets. Procrastination is a slow poison. It does not destroy you all at once, but it will eventually. Act now before tomorrow becomes a memory of what could have been.
During the days where I didn't want to go, or I was tired, I was sore, this, that, or the other, I still went. Because if I'm gonna go to practice and I'm gonna get 10%, 20%, 30% out of that day, it's better than getting 0. So I was always taking steps forward. And that's why everything worked out. And I can guarantee you there was probably 100 days where I didn't want to do anything. I wanted to stay in the pool or stay in my bed and not get out. But those were the days where you have to. You have to get up and do something, because I think that's really what separates the good from the great. The greats do things when they don't always want to do them.
Convince yourself that you can make it happen, even when the odds are stacked against you and the path seems unclear. Believe in your vision that nothing can break you, because that's what it takes. An unbreakable belief that no matter what, you'll figure it out. Because the alternative is where failure lives. Doubt and hesitation are the quickest paths to self-sabotage. You don't need a cheering section behind you. What you need is to trust that you have everything inside of you to win. When you commit to that level of belief, sooner or later, it will all fall into place.
It's our darkness that brings us closer to one another. It's all the shared broken pieces of our souls. Don't be ashamed of your darkness. All the mistakes that you've made have made you. Redemption is always on the other side of a moment. Every passing moment is another chance to turn it all around. Keep fighting. Don't go gently into that good night. For as long as you are here, hope dies last.
Someone who does not acknowledge the dark side of themselves and who is only good because that's all that they know how to be and that's all that they know of themselves is not really a good person because they're only doing what they know. Versus someone who's delved into the darkness of humanity, the pain of it, the despair of it, and then chooses to be good and chooses to do something. That's the true good person, right? That's the person we're all aspiring to be. Not someone who's ignored the pain, but someone who's chosen to do something with the pain.
You have to learn to select your thoughts the same way that you select your clothes every day. Now that's a power that you can cultivate, because if you can't master your thoughts, you're in trouble forever.
The gods envy us. They envy us because we're mortal. Because any moment might be our last. Everything's more beautiful because we're doomed. You will never be lovelier than you are now. We will never be here again.
The Persian poet Rumi once wrote, "What hurts you blesses you. Darkness is your candle. Everything in life is trying to teach you something. You just have to pay attention."
You've got to be ready to change your life. No one said this was going to be easy. You have to keep on keeping on. You think life was meant for the weak? It wasn't, it never was. I'm telling you, just keep on going.
And then climbed back out. That's why we have hero stories, right? There's always the hero has to go through down into hell and then climb back up. And that's what we admire, that's what we respect, that's what we give dignity to. So if we're not respecting that in ourselves, in our own innate ability to go dark and then climb back out, we're not dignifying ourselves.
You've got to be ready to change your life. No one said this was going to be easy. You have to keep on keeping on.
So get back up. Make the most of this life you have. You're here. You're here now. The time is always now.
Nothing in this life lasts, even our troubles. Keep going, my friend. Just keep going.
In the end, it's all going to be all right. And if it's not, then it's not the end. Please, just keep going.
This is one of the best questions, I think, to ask yourself when faced with a decision, which is, what would you tomorrow want you today to do?
You might be dealing with a lot right now, and it might be easier to hide and run from it all. Don't. Embrace the storm. Let it harden you, because on the other side of the struggle is a version of you that is stronger, healthier, and more unstoppable than you ever thought possible. Running away from the challenge won't get you anywhere, but showing up for yourself, even when it's hard, will. Stay strong. You got this.
There's a self in you that wants to come out, that's there, that's buried within, that will feel better. When we bring it out, we feel better. The lower self is our animal nature. When you're bringing out the higher self, you're becoming human. Your lower self is your addictions. You're always wanting something easy and fast and quick. And when you indulge in that, you don't feel good. You want to bring out that higher self. And I want you to confront that and not deny it anymore and see that that's in you. It's in everyone. It's not like every human has it. It's extremely democratic. Ultimately, happiness comes down to the decision of choosing to become aware of our mental afflictions or choosing to be ruled by them. This is what hard feels like. Did you think the thing that you wanted to try and achieve was going to be easy? No. Okay. So what's the entry price of trying to achieve this thing? Well, it's hard. Like, you are here to be challenged by things. This is what hard feels like.
You can be very grateful for what it is you have right now and still be ambitious with goals and dreams and visions that you want for yourself. And in fact, being grateful is part of being happy along the journey. Being happy along the journey takes 3 components. It takes gratitude, it takes a mission, and it takes discipline. And if you have those 3 things operating in your being, you're going to be happy along the way. That's reality.
Do it sad, do it angry, do it heartbroken, do it miserable, do it excited, do it energized, do it happy, do it tired, do it confident, do it discouraged. Do it anyway.
Life is not just the passing of time. Life is a collection of experiences, their frequency and their intensity. Life is not just watching clock tick away. Life is a collection of experiences, their intensity, their frequency. Whatever the span of your life turns out to be, here's what you want to fill it up with: experiences and the intensity of those experiences.
Success without fulfillment is the ultimate failure, because the human mind is not going to make you happy. This brain of yours won't do it. You have to direct it. And there's no worse fate than to achieve everything and not be fulfilled.
There are a lot of voices in life trying to define us, tell us who we are. Sometimes they're uplifting, a parent telling us that we're talented, we can do great things. Other times they're negative. You're not attractive. There's nothing special about you. You made too many mistakes. You missed your chance. When you listen to all these voices, it's easy to think, who's telling the truth? Who am I? Here's the key. The only voice that matters is your voice.
The fastest way to change your life is to start keeping the promises you make to yourself. You chose this, and even though it might be hard, you still owe it to yourself to see it through. Don't live with regret. Put it all on the line and let it play out the way it's supposed to. The last thing you want to do is wonder what if. Don't give yourself that option. Make it happen now. Most people know what they need to do, but very few actually do it. We spend a lot of time trying to figure out how to get better and way less time actually doing the work. It all comes down to how much you want it. Most people know what they want, but very few people want it bad enough to actually do something about it. So on the days where you don't feel like showing up, are you the kind of person to push past and keep going, or are you the one looking for an excuse to take a break?
And the last thing I think about is like, why not? Like, why not you? Like, why can't you achieve all the things that are in your heart and your mind? Why can't you, break that generational curse? Why can't you get up and start taking those steps? You know what I mean? Why? Like, what's stopping me? And when you really get to the root of what's stopping you, the only thing that is truly stopping you is you, and you have the power to take that stand and to pull one foot in front of the other, take it day by day, step by step, and become the person that God made you to be.
You're not what your parents tell you you are. You're not what your friends tell you you are. In fact, you're not even what you tell yourself you are, because you don't even truly understand your limitless potential. So when you live in a situation where you're limited by the opinions and the insecurities and the projections of other people, what you're doing is you're limiting your potential and your growth for self-development. And the first part is understanding that you can become whoever you want to become.
You're a mystery to yourself. You don't know who you are. You have patterns of behavior and you're not even understanding that. You don't know why you're angry. You think you're angry because that person said something mean to you or did something wrong. But in fact, your anger probably stems from things from deep, deep within, from your childhood. And you're not reacting to that person, but to actually your parents and what they didn't give you. The origin of wisdom, according to the Greeks, was know thyself. And I believe that very firmly, that knowledge about who you are is an end in itself and will help you in so many ways become that human being that I think we all have the potential to become.
Just all the things that you aren't willing to give up for the dreams that you have. And that is what the person who will beat you is willing to give up.
You might slip and fall in the process of trying to achieve your goals, but you need to remember that it's all part of the journey.
You see, many people say they want to be great, but they're not willing to pay the price of greatness. Are you willing to do what most people are not willing to do? Are you willing to put in the work even on holidays? Are you willing to work to perfect your craft even on weekends? Are you willing to study and get better and grow even on the nights you're invited to those parties? Are you willing to pay the price of greatness? Are you willing to pay that entry fee, the cost at the door of what it takes to be great? You don't just stumble upon greatness. You pay the price day by day, moment by moment.
Winning didn't know my name. Winning doesn't know who the hell you are. You know? Winning keeps his hands in his pocket. It's going to keep its hands in his pockets. You know why? Because it doesn't want to point to anybody who isn't worthy. In order to see winning in all its glory, it wants to see you suffer. It wants to know what you're made of.
You stay in environments where people don't recognize the value of you, you will shrink your gift to the size of what they can stand. And that's what causes anxiety and depression and stress, because you have had to shrink into a form where people can tolerate you.
I don't wait for the perfect moment. Usually the perfect moment is now. The right time to tell somebody that you love them when you feel it is right now. The right time to make that contact, right now. So I want to challenge you today. That call you need to make it now. That email you need to send it now. That chapter you need to write, that copy, that funnel, do it now. I love knocking things off the list because that creates momentum. And the more you do this, ironically, you will develop confidence in yourself to be able to attack things in the moment.
Not just about you. It's not just about whatever you're going to get. It's about the example that you're setting for every single person around you. It's the example in your household. It's the example in your neighborhood. It's the example in your community. And if we all took that seriously, the world wouldn't look the way that it looks. You have an obligation to extract the potential that is within you. You are given gifts. You are given a purpose. You may not know what they are yet, but it is your duty to figure out what they are. It is your duty to become the best possible version of yourself. And you figure out who you are and what you want to do, and you devote your life to it like a maniac, like you're all in on this thing, and you manifest. Most of these people end up doing what they say they're going to do, being who they say they're going to become. It's real.
Okay, each and every day I'm just going to try to progress little by little. I'm going to try to take small steps each and every day. Understanding that every day is not going to be perfect. I'm going to make mistakes. I'm going to have days where I mess up, but that's okay because we're focused on the progress. We're not focused on trying to be perfect. And when you focus on the progress, that means even through mistakes, you're looking for the lessons and the ways that you can grow and progress through the mistakes.
The important thing is that you just keep climbing. Even when you do slide back, you're never at the bottom. because you're always higher up than when you started.
If you want something bad enough, you can't let anybody tell you you can't do something. I'll repeat that. If you want something bad enough, you can't let anybody tell you you can't do something, not even yourself.
You need to work on yourself. If you just try to be pampered, and if you're trying to be soft, and if you're trying to be the victim of those, you're not gonna go anywhere. We need to get stronger. We need to get tougher. We need to not be afraid of failure. We got to go and do the work. We got to face adversity. Adversity breeds character, there's strength. We have to be willing to go through hardship, through suffering, through pain, through crying periods, all of that stuff. Don't shy away from any of that because it just makes you stronger.
There will be days when you give every ounce of yourself, every ounce of your soul, blood, sweat, and tears, early mornings and late nights, and not see any result from all of your hard work. And the most difficult part of all of that is knowing you have to show up the next day and do it all over again. And you may not see the result immediately. It may not come next week. But believing that eventually the result will come is what makes a champion.
There's gonna be days where you don't feel like showing up. There's gonna be days where you're paralyzed by self-doubt, and days where the distance between where you are and where you wanna be is overwhelming. I'm here to tell you that the only way to keep inching forward when those days happen is to be committed to the process. Because the ones who stay consistent, whether they feel like it or not, are the ones who see the results, not the ones who have conditional commitments on their goals. Keep going.
I think when you feel stuck or dissatisfied in your life, it's a signal. And it's not a signal that your life is broken. It's a signal that one of your most basic needs are not being met. Your need for exploration. And your soul needs exploration and growth. And the only way you'll get it is by forcing yourself to be uncomfortable.
Why is life so hard? Life is never easy. If it's easy, it would be boring. Life should be hard. Embrace the hardness of life, because through those hardships, you're learning, you're molding, and you're becoming a person. So, life should be hard. When you accept that life should be hard, then nothing is hard. Everything is easy, because everything is a lesson that you can learn something from. Every day is a new day to learn something new. So what are you going to learn today?
Sometimes growing and breaking feel the same. I think that sometimes growing and breaking are the same thing. And here's something to keep in mind. In this uncomfortable season of growth, you are not the one that's breaking. What's breaking is everything that isn't you. And sometimes that hurts.
Sometimes you have to go through that adversity and that challenge and that setback to activate the passion and the drive. You know, sometimes it takes the sting of defeat. Sometimes it takes the sting of heartbreak to activate something within you that was needed for you to start moving in the direction that you're meant to move, to get to where you need to be.
The right path is often going to be the hard one. It's going to be the one that requires you to believe in something with no guarantees. The one that asks you to let go of all control and walk forward in blind faith. But you know you're not walking blindly because you can see it. You can feel that there's no other choice but this. Everything you've been through has prepared you for this moment. Lean into it. Trust it. You're ready.
You know, you have a decision to make. Am I going to stay right here? Am I going to live my life and be happy? Which, by the way, if that's what you want, there's no judgment. But what I'm saying to you is if you're that ambitious now and you don't keep moving, you're going to feel bad about staying in the same spot. So it's important that we set bigger goals and that we continue to progress through life because we have to have a purpose, we have to have a drive, and the reality is our pursuit of a bigger goal produces a lot of good for people outside of ourselves. So what gifts are you suppressing by staying in that place and being content where you are? How many lives changed? How many new ideas? How much good is now being kept in your jar because you've decided to stay right where you are? That's something to think about.
Now stay after it. If you're maybe feeling down or you're not feeling as motivated, that's where your discipline has to really kick in, because the motivation is not always there. The discipline, that's what's got to be your backbone for progress. Even if you don't want to do it, or you're not feeling motivated to do it, the discipline will keep you, on that steady upward slope.
Each and every day, I'm trying to be the best I can be in that day. I'm trying to maximize that day, just that day. And I think if we all can shift into focusing on the small, integral steps that go into the big changes, that's when we'll see the most growth and the most evolution in our lives.